GTA 5 is literally a game like no other. Now, I know a lot of people will say X game is like no other when most of the time it isn't really true. But GTA 5 really is a game like no other, even when compared to the rest of the GTA franchise. It's a game that's incredibly special to me and probably millions of other people, and although, yes, maybe it has had a slight fall from grace with all the re-releases and GTA
Hello,
Online.
This is Agatha.
Oh, fuck off. But it is still a must-play even 10 years after its release. So to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of this game, here is my short little tribute to GTA 5 and its slightly deranged community. Now, before I talk about why this game is so special, I need to mention my history with it. GTA 5 released in 2013, and it's clear that the hype for this game was huge. So what was I doing during this game's release? Well, I was playing Cut the Rope in a small flat in Russia. Yep, in 2013 I was 8 years old and had only heard whispers of GTA 5 from my uncle, so I wouldn't really learn what GTA was until around 2 years later. However, once the concept of a world where you could do anything from crashing jets into towers to driving into random pedestrians had been explained to me, I knew that I had to have this game no matter what. So a few months later, I received the Steam gift card I had asked for Christmas and immediately spent it all on GTA 5. I was buzzing with excitement to open up this game, but of course, I then had to wait 2 days for the fucking thing to install. Thank you, Rockstar. Very cool. But once the installation was complete, I hit play, waited, and this opening sequence played. It immediately got me hooked, and for the next few months, this game was my entire life. I mean, I remember literally running home from school because I just could not wait to play this game and steal another jet from the airport or switch to Trevor just to see what deranged thing he was doing. So yeah, it's safe to say that this game meant a lot to me. I finished it 3 times just to see every ending because, you know, watching them on YouTube wasn't enough. As a younger kid, this game provided me with endless hours of fun, and even as I grew older, it provided an amazing form of escapism for me when I needed it. But anyway, that's probably enough about me. I want to discuss exactly what makes this game so special to millions of people. And I think the biggest reason for why it's so special is something I brought up just a few seconds ago: escapism. If you're watching this video, you probably use games as your way to escape from the real world and live in a fantasy for a few hours. And GTA 5 allows you to do this like no other game. No other game perfectly balances a realistic world that you can easily self-insert into with one that is batshit crazy enough to a point where you can just revel in the madness and forget all about your own life. And no other game perfectly balances accessibility with depth like GTA 5. As a quick example, let's look at the driving in cars in this game. Now, of course, driving is a pretty big component of GTA. I mean, it's literally in the name. But also, ever since the first GTA game, driving has been a major aspect for the entire series. And the driving in GTA 5 is absolutely amazing, even if it can sometimes be a little janky. Now, I love games like Gran Turismo, so trust me, I understand that GTA 5's driving is far from realistic, but the thing is, it does have some depth whilst also being extremely accessible and fun. And that's honestly partly what makes the driving in this game so good. Yes, it isn't sim levels of accurate, but it's probably the most fun I've ever had driving in a video game. You play games like the previously mentioned Gran Turismo if you want a realistic driving simulator, but if you just want to relax and have some pure car fun, personally, for me and my mates, it's always GTA 5. There's also definitely a learning curve to the driving in this game because although anyone can get into a car in GTA 5 and drive it, it does take some skill and practice to be able to weave in and out of traffic without ever crashing. And of course, it takes skill to be able to outmaneuver the cops in Los Santos. And although most casual players probably won't realize it, every single car feels and handles differently, and they also drive totally different different on varying terrains. Mastering every car in this game just isn't possible in one playthrough, but anybody who sticks with this game will probably be a racing pro in GTA by the time they move on to other games. The thing is, this entire discussion about racing is just a small example of the balancing act that GTA 5 does with depth, accessibility, and fun in every aspect of its world and gameplay. This balancing act is just honestly insane to me because I don't think I have ever experienced this in any other game. And because of this act, GTA 5 is kind of perfect when it comes to escapism and just pure downright good game design. Now, yep, I get it. Games like Minecraft can also let you escape into a world, but it just isn't the same. It's nowhere near as detailed and there isn't as much thought put into it. A Minecraft world is just something a machine blurted out, whereas the GTA 5 Los Santos world is something carefully crafted. And only 10 years later, other games like Cyberpunk are starting to catch up with worlds as fleshed out as Los Santos. And by fleshed out, I don't mean just pure detail, because, you know, of course more detailed worlds have been released, but fleshed out to me means just the sheer amount of things you can do and interact with. And other than maybe 2 other worlds, the GTA 5 one is still the most interactive and interesting world I have ever played in. It contains an insane amount of detail that allows basically everyone to have a form of escapism because, I mean, like I said, look, there's a driving. You like customizing cars? Hop into GTA Online. Flying? Do the flying challenges. And there's even triathlons for the people out there that want to do that, if there is any of you that is. All of these are extremely easy to grasp. I mean, how hard is it to just run or cycle in the game? But of course, they also fall in line with that classic GTA 5 balancing act and are extremely hard to perfect. Speaking of escapism and perfection, let's talk about GTA 5's story. I'm not going to go into the intricate details of the story because that would just take ages, but to sum it up in a few minutes, it's really basic, but also really good. Now, one pet peeve of mine is people thinking that basic means bad, because it just doesn't, and GTA 5's story is a perfect example of that. This story is the exact opposite of GTA 4's. It isn't really beautifully written and doesn't have many heart-wrenching, depressing moments, but it's still amazing in its own crazy way. The fact that the story is basic and not like GTA 4's actually works in this game's favor because it allows it to be much more fun rather than really realistic and gritty. The story just allows you to sort of turn off your mind and just be taken for a ride by these 3 insane people who will always somehow end up in the most cliche yet over-the-top situations, like robbing a jewelry store, for example. And the thing is, I hear a lot of complaints about this, but what these people don't seem to realize is that the story is literally built from the ground up to be like this. It's meant to be cliche. We're basically playing in an over-the-top budget action flick from the 90s. That's the way this game was designed, and I think it achieved its original design goal perfectly. The entire reason for GTA 5 being set in Los Santos and not somewhere like Liberty City is to allow this crazy shit to happen, and to allow this cycle of craziness, if you will, to flow. And the thing is, the pro tags are also part of this cycle just like everybody else. See, the thing is, you might argue that designing a story like this is stupid in the first place, but honestly, it just isn't for this franchise. GTA 5 was always meant to satirize the real world, and this story and its setting allows the game to do that perfectly. I have also heard people complaining about how GTA 5's story is a little unrealistic, which is surprising to say the least because this game is in the GTA franchise. It is not meant to be realistic. Like I said before, it's satire. I mean, yes, GTA 4 was pretty realistic, but that was more like a one-time thing rather than the entire franchise. And anyway, I still think the story of this game is pretty believable. There's very few plot holes, and although the entire GTA world is pretty crazy, this game still sticks to all the rules that prior GTA games set up. So yeah, I can totally immerse myself in the cycle of craziness and just go along with everything that happens. Plus, once again, that classic GTA 5 balancing act is coming into play here. This basic yet crazy story allows anybody to immerse itself in it, whilst also being extremely fun to play and still having its intricacies if you actually try to look for all the secrets and details. Now of course I can't go into all the actual missions in this video because that would make it more of a review rather than a tribute, but I should still talk about them. So basically the main missions of the story also follow this balancing act because they're fun to play and are usually just the right difficulty for everybody. These missions usually flow nicely between themselves and all the side content, and I was never really broken out of the immersion this game creates. They're also just so extremely batshit crazy and bombastic that it's kind of hard to not sort of smile and have fun whilst playing them. However, there are some issues. Some of the missions are extremely tedious, like minor turbulence for example. Finally, there it is, my saviour. Don't have to play this fucking awful mission anymore. But overall, they're pretty good, and I've got no big complaints to be honest. Now the side content on the other hand is much more mixed. I did enjoy most of it, but some of it does kind of feel like filler shit just to pad out the time. And frankly, I still haven't finished all the side missions because I just cannot put up with any more of the boring ones. Now of course I can't talk about GTA without mentioning the three faces of this game, that being obviously Trevor, Michael and Franklin. These three guys are just basically legends in the gaming world at this point, even if some of them clearly don't want to be.
Go fuck yourself!
Being brutally honest, without them this game would be nowhere near as special and unique. Because whilst sure they aren't exactly deep and intricate characters, they're still extremely good, and most importantly they play well off each other. See, that's where I think a lot of video games get it wrong, right? They might have amazing characters that are just amazing by themselves, but they don't feel like they're actually building real-life relationships with the other characters in the world, which, you know, clearly isn't an issue in GTA 5. The main three characters all build up their relationship with each other in a natural way, and they actually feel like an organic, dysfunctional family. To compare these three to a real-life trio, let's take a look at the Top Gear crew. No, I'm not joking. I know this video has been a shambles, but just stay with me here. Now obviously the Top Gear group aren't similar personality-wise to their GTA 5 counterparts, but the relationships between the members of each group are pretty comparable. With the Top Gear trio, you can all just tell that beyond getting along for the show, these three are actually just friends dicking about. And it's the same with the characters from GTA 5. Now of course these guys are just actors and they are doing their jobs, but it's clear that there's a deeper connection here, which is exactly what makes them so believable. And is exactly why so many people have an attachment to these characters, because there just isn't that uncanny valley factor of actors trying to force relationships with people for a show when there's clearly nothing really there. Plus they also just make the game incredibly fun because of their contrasting personalities. I mean, where else would you see a mental hospital escapee, a man with a midlife crisis and a gangster interact? This shit honestly looks like the beginning of one of them awful 3 people walk into a bar jokes. Now I won't go into how each character progresses throughout the plot because for that I would need another very long video, but yes, although I did say earlier that they aren't exactly deep, I would say that these characters still progress nicely throughout the game. Their progression isn't huge, so it's honestly pretty believable, and it's not like by the end of it they all just turn into good guys, which way too many games seem to do. Even by the end of the game, they still stay true to their original personalities, and I just have to thank the writers of this game for that, because if I saw Trevor have a real good redemption arc in this game, I would legitimately just burn my copy of GTA 5, even though I wouldn't be able to do that because it's digital, but whatever. Anyway, I think that's probably enough about the offline aspect of GTA. Let's quickly go over GTA Online before giving a small tribute to the community. I'll be honest, I have recently developed a newfound hatred for this game because of all the good things it took away from GTA 5, like a potential new Vice City expansion and a potential prologue to GTA 5. But even though I clearly have a love-hate relationship with this portion of the game, I have played it for quite a few hours, so I think I should still give a small little condensed opinion on exactly what I like and dislike about it, because really, there is no GTA 5 without GTA Online. So there isn't really a plot going on, or a good one anyway, with GTA Online, which is honestly kind of a deal breaker for me. And although, yep, I get GTA Online is just for messing around and doing over-the-top missions that don't really have relations to each other, but come on. Did we really have to do the whole silent protagonist shit in a GTA game? When it comes to characters, well, I'd love to say something, but frankly, I don't remember most of them. The only memorable characters in GTA Online are Franklin, Lester, Lamar, and then of course the other person I just can't seem to forget is fucking Agatha Baker. And this is cool and all, but really the first three are just reused GTA 5 characters, whilst she is just an annoying bitch. However, I will still give GTA Online credit. It is a good game, it's just not for me. It expands on the amounts of freedom you get in GTA 5 and allows you to do a much larger variety of activities. Honestly, I think large is really underselling it. You can customize every aspect of a car, buy a whole bunch of safe houses, and even a whole yacht or a submarine complete with a stereotypical Russian soldier if you wanted to. The amount of freedom you get with GTA Online is, in my opinion, one of the only redeeming qualities of it, to be honest. Because it takes GTA 5's perfect balancing act and absolutely fucks with it to the point where, yes, it isn't as well refined and accessible as the story mode, but it's also just more fun when you ignore the lack of story and just focus on the amounts of batshit crazy things you can do. And the fact that you can play this game with your mates just absolutely elevates this experience, because holy shit, you can have so much more fun if you just bring some mates along to do some of the heists with you. Speaking of heists, they are also extremely well executed and are creative, even if some of them aren't as good as others. But frankly, I think that the level of creativity for these is actually above GTA 5's story mode heists, in my opinion. But of course, the only thing that really brings them down is the lack of really good characters. And I mean, of course there are quirks, like the online servers are absolutely dog shit, they do kind of ruin your immersion, but the game is still cool because of just the amounts of stuff you can do and just the pure, like sheer amounts of content in it. But on top of all this, don't forget that GTA Online is just a free expansion to a 10-year-old game. It's incredible what they've managed to pull off with just a few updates, and the fact that this portion of the game is free just absolutely blows my mind. In fact, GTA Online is actually brilliant because of its price. There is no other free DLC bundle thing that's as good as this. So, okay, a quick little side note here, but technically Online isn't free. I just didn't realize this at the time. You can actually just buy the online mode rather than, you know, buying the base edition of GTA 5, which contains both story and online. And of course, this base version is more expensive because it contains both editions of the game, so obviously Rockstar is charging the cost of online plus the story mode. Now, when I bought the game years ago, this wasn't a thing, and you'd just pay full price for the story mode and then get online as part of the same game for free. And I just assumed nothing had changed, but, you know, clearly stuff has changed. So yeah, sorry about the inconsistency. Back to the video. So yeah, overall, online, I guess I kind of like it, but then fuckers on flying bikes piss me off, so. Alright, but seriously, the main reason why I covered GTA Online in this at all is because of the content creation aspect of it, and how it basically supports the rest of the community, whether they play GTA Online or not. Which of course leads me on to the community behind this game. Since we're already talking about it, let's just start off with taking a look at the community that tends to stick around GTA Online. Like I've said many times before, my experiences with online have been incredibly mixed, but for this section I'm just going to put my opinions aside and just purely look at what the people surrounding this game are like. And honestly, the GTA Online community is by far one of the most varied communities out there. Now, I'm not going to go into every single small portion of the community because, I mean, there's a bunch of them, like the car community, but that would just take ages, so instead I'm just going to group them into two groups. The vanilla side of GTA Online and then the modded side. To quickly summarize the two groups, you have the more casual players who just play on stock online servers and usually just try to complete all the new content as soon as it comes out and maybe customize a few cars or buy some weapons, but usually don't really delve much deeper than that. And then you have the over-dedicated players who usually use specific modded servers servers from 5M and other things like that. But honestly, both of these groups have some incredibly severe issues that kind of make it hard and annoying for new players to get into GTA Online. And I mean, trust me, I would know. I didn't get into this portion of the game until maybe 1 or 2 years ago. From what I've heard, back in the day, GTA Online was literally just GTA but online. There were no flying bikes or mega yachts, but just straight up a GTA multiplayer experience with maybe 1 or 2 new missions. And from what I can tell, the community surrounding the game at this time seemed to be mostly full of just really dedicated fans, that although would sometimes mess around with each other, were generally just helpful to newcomers and weren't absolute bastards to anyone who dared fire a shot in their direction. Yes, Zyzo, you fuck, I'm talking about you, I still remember you. Fucking cunt. However, as over the years the scope of GTA Online expanded, so did its player base, bringing in more and more people who were less and less dedicated to the game, up until the point where now I could literally give you a list of people who have only ever played GTA Online and never actually touched the story mode. As these new, sort of less dedicated fans flooded the game, to me it also seems that the amount of grieving and toxicity in the community slowly increased. Which, you know, definitely wasn't helped by the general pay-to-win nature the game had adopted by that point, with all the shark cards and all that stuff. And honestly, as far as I can tell, ever since around 2017, 2018, GTA Online has just been an absolute cesspit of pure shit. Now, of course, I'm not a pussy. I get that some griefing in a game is good, but I mean, like a certain man once said, 1 time is funny, but 2 times is just fucking annoying. So, yep, the GTA Online community is just mostly full of absolute pricks and children, but you didn't need me to tell you that, really. The funny thing is, this actually seems to be changing, and I think that the GTA Online vanilla community might actually be getting a little better, because personally, at least I have experienced a lot less dickheads on bikes trying to shoot me down recently. So the more casual and vanilla side of GTA Online is pretty rough. Well, how about the modded servers, you might be asking? Yeah, well, they are arguably even worse in the exact opposite way. I've played a bunch of modded GTA Online, and the thing is, it's sort of a coin toss here. You either get some really fun people who just sort of chill and let you do whatever you want, as well as also sticking loosely to the rules, or you get the roleplay gang, which will literally not let you step a single foot out of line, and if you do, then you get this.
No, hold on. 2960, lever, you're getting kicked. Lever, you're getting kicked. Lever, you're getting kicked. All 3 of you leave now.
So yeah, this group is honestly what I have an issue with. Like I said, they're the exact opposites of the regular GTA Online gang. They just do not know how to have fun, and don't seem to realize that in some cases, yes, griefing is good. Now I get that the sticklers for the rules just want to roleplay and all that, but part of roleplay is also other people being idiots towards you. I mean, not everybody in the real world is a blank slate who just follows all the rules. So why the fuck should every single person follow these frankly stupid rules that these RP servers just implement? So honestly, making everybody stick so closely to the rules isn't even really proper RP in my opinion, but it seems that no 12-year-old GTA Online admin can understand that. Also, just want to point this out, side note here, just please do actually troll these guys, they need some reality checks. Let's move away from the GTA Online community and just take a brief look at what the rest of the community is up to. Now, of course, there's this sort of content creation side to GTA Online that is honestly what makes it the most appealing to me. I love these like custom racing levels, and all the other UGC is always just so creative for a game that came out like 10 years ago. And of course, I also just love the general content creation aspects surrounding this game, like all the YouTube videos and streams. There has been some absolutely insane stuff recently. I mean, you want to watch a guy do an amazing GTA 5 run without taking a single drop of damage? You got it. You want to see just a group of mates fucking around in online? Well, the GTA community has that too. So much time and effort has been put into creating content for this game, and it's clear that all the way from the insane mods that changed the entire game to the countless GTA challenges, everybody who produces anything for this game is extremely dedicated to it. Honestly, it is just insane how vast and creative the content behind this game has gotten. I mean, originally, all I remember from this community was just the classic stopping the train video or GTA 6 is here video, but now there has been some absolute masterpieces that have come out, and I'm not sure what happened, but GTA content is actually good now. As I mentioned before, there's also a whole load of mods out there for this game, and as far as I can tell, there isn't a modding community anywhere near as active as this game's. I can guarantee you that every issue you have with this game can be solved with a mod thanks to the extremely dedicated people who make these. Hell, there's even mods that recreate the world of Liberty City in GTA 5, which is just, I don't even have words for it, because it's, how do people even create this? It's insanity. Rockstar itself also seems to be pretty involved with the community. I mean, just look at the recent 5M stuff, but I won't really go into their relationship with the rest of the community because it's kind of shit, to be honest, and I don't really want to get into that whole bucket of worms. This game has been around for a decade now, and without these videos that find new ways to play through the game, I honestly think that although GTA wouldn't have died, it would have been much less culturally relevant than it is now. For example, I did have a short period of time where I was absolutely done with this game, but then I saw this Dog Viper AU video which showcased an incredibly weird and unique mod about cougars trying to attack the player. So this unique concept drew me in, and I actually halted my short break from GTA 5 because of how much I wanted to try out this mod. And without the creativity of the people who make content like mods, and then the people who make videos and other forms of media about these mods and creations, I doubt that most of you would be watching this video. And I honestly doubt that this video would exist because I just wouldn't have gotten as engaged in this game without the community surrounding it, even if the community is a little fucked up and very dysfunctional. So yeah, I really don't know how to tie this all up, to be honest, and honestly, I'm not sure that I even did enough in this video to really call this a tribute to GTA 5, because this game is just so huge and the community behind it is so vast that I would probably need a video that is around 3 hours to fully cover every single thing I want to talk about, which, to be honest, I will almost certainly come back and do, because no matter how much Rockstar fucks up the community, fucks up online, and fucks up the countless re-releases, I will always love this game, simply because of just how balanced and near perfect it is. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this that talk about other GTA games or just games in general, don't forget to like and subscribe. God, I do not like saying that. Yep, see ya, bye, whatever.